Okay. So we're going to let Tisha pick through things that she may or may not want. And then, I don't even know what this is. And then we're going to see if Andre can put them up online for me. Make his 30%. The same thing. What is this? What is that? What do you think that is? I don't know what that is. It's like maybe for a bottle. You know, the bottles, glass bottles, that's what that's for, right? There's another one. I have glass bottles. Well, nice ones that don't have lids. So maybe I'll find, and we'll see what we can do with those. Because that's probably what they're for. And then, I used to have these out. I don't really see them that well anymore, though. Because the colors blend together, right? Oh, there's a bell. What is it? That's a nice bell. Oh, that sounds really nice. But look, the little brass thing. So Tisha's coming to the house, and I'm going to have her look, see if she wants to take anything home for herself. These are brass. Great. I don't know what that is. And then what she doesn't want, there's another little bell. Andre can try and put it online for me. That's a red robin. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Look at that. That's nice. And then just other little things. Little owls. Solid brass. Yeah. And then there's some kitchen stuff she can go through. If she doesn't want it, then I'm going to give it to Mrs. Gill, and Mrs. Gill can pass it on to somebody else. Or she can keep it for herself. Whatever she prefers. She might find something she might want. I don't know what this is. Some sort of collector plate. What else is in here? Oh, that's a Hindu elephant. Hindus like that. I know. My mother was with a Hindu. Yeah. Hindus and Punjabis are different. They're not different. They're both from India, but they have different beliefs, traditions. So anyway, we're gonna let Tisha pick through that, and then hold on. Then we're just gonna water the plants. Take a boo. From what I can see here, as you can see, I transplanted what was grown in here. So I cut those down, dehydrated them, cut those down, dehydrated them. But what I want to see is this baby. This one here just growing like a mad frickin' dickens. So is this one. This one was so sickly, and like it just sprung right up. All of a sudden, boom. They really, really, really do like grow lights. These ones I just transplanted, and they sprung up, so they're nice. Okay, April 3rd. You know, I refreshed my YouTube suggestion page or whatever, and they keep, look at this, haven't we seen this already 2 times in 2 different forms of dress? One with the waitress handing the food, and then again with a different outfit on, not so sexy, where it was drinking something. And then I think there was maybe, I don't know if it was that one or another one where, should you be tipping these robots? Because I got distracted from this, right? Anyway, here we go. This robotic dancer surprised everyone. This is the same one. Looks the same to me from what I can tell in terms of the face. Yeah, because they're in the restaurant. There we go. Where's the dancing?
You must have seen this viral video on social media in which a Chinese robot is seen serving food in a restaurant. But in reality, she is not a robot but a girl employed at the Chinese restaurant.
Ah, did I not say that, people? Did I not say that? That they got somebody posing like a robot doing the, right? I did say that. So is this, let's just listen. But, you know, exposure is going to bring things to the surface that you don't normally see. I haven't had a chance to do that. I'm too much under dilemma with other things going on in my life right now. Yeah, and if you notice, the different outfit, this is where she goes to make it look like she's drinking something, and they're asking if you should be tipping these quote-unquote robots. Anyway, let's listen.
She is also a professional dancer who captivates audiences with her robotic dance moves. As a result, many people began visiting the restaurant to witness her performances, leading to the video of the girl going viral. You must have seen this viral.
Okay. So, I guess it's been debunked. That's not a robot. But I'm still going to take it to exposure. Oh my God. Does this link still work? Let's check it out. Go figure. Go figure. What you gonna do, YouTube? Seriously, man. Oh yeah. Here we go. Okay. Obviously, I'm feeling a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe a rebel mode here. Right? I have a heavy heart, people. So, we're gonna do something a little different here. Yeah. What we're gonna do first is we're gonna go back to where we were. I'm gonna put this first. And then I got a couple of little clips after. That's actually before what I'm doing right now, but I'll put that at the end because what I'm talking about, or what I'm going to talk about in this video, is important. Only I don't really quite know how I'm going to bring it to the forefront in terms of piquing people's interest, my girlfriends, to participate in program development. In regards to the foundation that I've been working on for, what, is it 24 years or 25 years now? I don't know. It's just going on a long time. So where's that? Where's my page? Oh, that's just great. What did I do? I lost my page. Hold on a minute. Okay, I'm back. Anyway. Let me go turn off this light for a second. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into my Peeps Fashion page. Where are we? Where's the mouse? Lordy. There it is. Okay. This is the only way. What is that? No, I'm on the wrong scroll down bar. So let's go to this one. Right? See, that's when I titled it. Alright. Ideas for program development. Right? But right here, we're going to go here. Okay. Okay. I want the music. Not so much this. I have to let this play. I don't think I can turn it off at the player. Yeah, there's no little player here where I can turn it off. I have to let it run itself through. But I want some music in the background as I'm talking about this. So after this is over with, we're going to what do you call it? Play one of these videos. I'm not sure which one yet. See that hat? Remember I told you it's in a hat box? Well, that hat is now in Auntie Tisha's room, aka the business room, aka Andre's business room. Andre's business room. I'm just saying, right? How dare you steal from a child? I'm just saying. Obviously, I'm still annoyed. But besides that point, that hat is in its original hat box that I made for it in, yeah, we'll just call it Andre's business room for now. But it got squished a bit, right? Because, you know, it's been kicking around for years, eh? So anyway. Stay focused. Stay Stay focused, stay focused. Alright, so let's go. Huh? Yeah, well, we're going to put it online and sell it. You're going to help me. You and Tisha. Tisha's in charge of the fashion. You're in charge of the books and anything around the house. Okay? But you help Tisha. I don't care. Is that the salsa? Finish it. That's mine. Eat what you want. Okay. You're welcome. Alright. Alrighty-o. So, there's this lady. She calls herself Jane Modo. Okay, that may or may not be her real name. Right? Not everybody uses their real name on YouTube, but we'll just call her Lady Jane. Lady Jane. She's from Africa. Africa. And I kind of, I don't want to say bamboozled her this morning at like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning my time, and she was up, so I don't know what time it was for her, but for me it was 2:30 in the morning. And I mentioned that I've done community work, and I love African families that come from Africa and come to Canada because they're so genuine. I've never met a more genuine class of people that I have of African families coming to Canada to start a new life because of the hardships in their own country, where many of the families that I worked with came from actual refugee camps, where you had 100,000, I was told 100,000 tents in the Tanzania area, right? Where, under the sun, families after family after family after family, waiting for a jug of sour milk for the week for the children to eat. Yeah. So when they come to Canada, and you connect with them as a family, and they have a rhythm all of their own that's infectious in terms of song and dance and personable skills when it comes to community that draws you in to be a part of that community because of the love that they have for life. Really, that's all I can really base it on, okay? They're not lost in the whirlwind of the me mentality where, people want to say that I'm materialistic because I don't want to throw away my stuff. Right? No, it's beyond stuff, right? Yeah. So anyway, I came across her videos, but one through my main YouTube feed, I guess you'd call it. Clicked it on, watched it, moved around, went to other videos, looked around, listened, and then I ended up making a comment. She responded back to me. I asked her a bunch of questions, right? She responded back to me. I could relate to her desire. I'm choosing my words wisely here, people. Her desire. I'm trying to give this Lady Jane justice, where like do justice, due respect, like do acknowledging the effort that she's putting in to be part of the solution in a situation where it's difficult because of lack of resources. That's a big one. That's usually the bottom line, right? When it comes to making lasting impacting changes where the community as a whole I don't know if ratio is the right word, but it's more than just the community as the whole. It's the actual household itself, per household as a whole, that can stabilize themselves the greater self, to where instead of just a few prospering, all to some degree or one level are prospering together at the same time. We have been programmed to not think like that, unless, of course, it's being done through perhaps organized religion, to which has its pros and its cons, right? You know? But we're not talking about that. What we're talking about here is I want to help this woman and her associates to expand on program development where more families in need, not the needy, but just in need, who are vulnerable due to their circumstances that are not their fault in terms of, well, if we've got manufactured poverty in Canada, then you know we've got manufactured poverty in Africa, right? So let's just cut to the chase here, right? Nobody asked to be impoverished and locked into that cycle without an escape. So I'm trying to offer this woman an escape by brainstorming ideas that she can incorporate into her programs one increment at a time, where it generates income, a secondary or a third or whatever, just an income, so that she has the actual resources to be able to go out and you see, if she is helping a family with children with a food supplement, I'm trying to stay focused here, people, with a food supplement where I guess you can say the basics, the basic needs of the family, because you can't just feed the children and not the grandmother or the grandfather or the uncle who's working the fields and come home hungry and has really no place to eat except for with his family. I'm just saying, right? So you have to factor in the whole family, not just the children, although the children are the main priority here, right? So, you know, okay. I've offered to give this woman $100 as a donation from me in lieu of the foundation that I work on. And I asked her if I did that, this is what we were discussing last night. I asked her if I was to do that, how many children would that feed and for how long, based on however she plans on doing it. Okay? Now, she lives in a village, which is not a city. So therefore, they're going to have different amenities, right? And they're more, is that what, rural? Right? Where, you know, you have domestic animals in the background where animal and people coexist together, right? But the economy itself isn't strong enough in order to take it to a more, I don't want to say modernized, because I wouldn't personally want to take away from the ruralness, right? What I'm trying to do is alleviate the hunger that manifests from rural living. However, I would want to preserve rural living because it's unique to itself and precious. It's just, it's not sustainable to ensure that food security is consistent with moving forward in life and having peace and prosperity and opportunity and hope and that kind of thing, versus leaning more towards famine, starvation, deprivation, destruction, right? You know, which poverty is, it's you know how they say it's a sliding effect. Well, it's the same thing with poverty. You're sitting up here living in poverty, and you're not gonna. It's very hard to climb up versus just keep on slipping down, right? And just with the way the world is going, you know, everybody has their problems to one degree or another. So this individual here, Lady Jane, right? You know, she's coming into contact with the problems within her area. And so anyway, I admire her. She has a noble cause. She's young, full of energy. I used to be that way, right? So, you know, the more we can support people like her and those around her to become successful at their endeavors, to help stabilize their community, right? Just the better off life will be. You can't save everybody, but you can help with some. And you're not even saving them. It's more like providing opportunity for them to save themselves. And even when you think you can save yourself, what we're all facing these days, it's almost an impossible feat to even get comfortable with the idea that you saved your family by doing this, this, and this, because whatever you did, sooner or later, it's going to change, and it might not be replenished. So this is where mindset becomes important, to where we kind of have to help each other. Right? So what I'm trying to say here, my lady friends, because I'm calling on you. I'm calling on you for a noble cause, to step up to the plate and contemplate about chipping in, not today, not tomorrow, but at some point in the future, a little bit of cash to this lady who's up in Uganda trying to connect with families in her area who happen to live in a village where what we think is struggle in our worlds is nothing compared to how some of these families are struggling in her neck of the woods in terms of Uganda. All right? And if you do decide to jump on board, okay, then we will build on it around the concept of the foundation that I work on. We'll do the one with the hat. No, I don't want to do that one. We'll do this one. What do you think? I'm just going to talk for a little while longer, because I don't know how to introduce people onto my YouTube channel. Never mind asking what I'm asking. And she's not, this people, she don't know me from Adam. She don't know me from Adam. Okay? So, we're brainstorming here. We're looking at some pretty clothes. Listening to some country music. Country music that is free on YouTube, so they can't really copyright me. Although they'll copyright me with that one on my, probably on my website, but that's just a MIDI, so it's not no big deal, right? Alright, so that's what I want to work on for a little while, along everything else that I'm working on here, people. I want to get back on the bandwagon I mean, never mind. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I try all the time. You can always tell when I'm being positive, motivated, and, you know, trying to be a whatever positive role on my videos. But I mean, I'm being sabotaged all the time, right? People always pissing me off for one reason or another, and they really go out of their way to do it too, you know. Oh, I love this one. I still have this one. I still have this one. Oh man, I love this outfit. It's my mermaid outfit. This is what this one is. Yeah, it's nice. It's real nice. Like, gorgeous. All that beadwork I did by myself. Yeah. Let's see if we can come up close to it. There, do you see? I did all that beadwork by myself. I made the masks. Yeah. I did that when I was living at Gateway Place. Yeah. That was in my little apartment. I did this. I hired 2 dancers, I paid them, and they got 1 costume each when they left. Boy, they were so happy. Right? So, anyway, so I'm just going to be shooting the shit, I guess you could say, in terms of yeah, shooting the gab, right? I think I'm going to try and bring out, see, I did all that by hand. I used to be able to see, not so much anymore though, right? And I'm going to bring out the wipeout board so that, you know, we can put it on black and white. And you know how when you brainstorm from the center of a piece of paper, right? And I mean, it's one thing to talk. This girl here, she loved this. Oh man, she loved that so much. She took that. When I said you could have one, this is the one she took for herself. She was so happy. She's like a little girl in a candy store. She loved this outfit. Yeah. And you know what was strange about that outfit? You know, I worked with dancers for years, right? For years and years, right? And that one never sold. That one never sold. All the other ones sold. I mean, there's a few other ones kicking around, right? But sometimes that's the way it goes with women. Like, seriously. You have to, when you do outfits like mine, it's one outfit basically per woman. And sometimes it takes years for that one woman to find that outfit that you thought that nobody wanted. And she fell in love with it and she couldn't wait to take it home. Well, that's what this girl did with that blue outfit. And I carried that blue outfit for, 4 or 5 years in between my travels with the girls. Oh yeah. Yeah, I tell this to Tisha, you know, like, don't ever underestimate, right? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, what was I talking about? So yeah, I think I'm going to bring out the wipeout board, right? Read what's on it, because whatever's on it is still from in the past. So we'll read what's on it and we'll wash it away, right? It probably has something to do with Uncle John and just the whole 9 yards. And Christy Clark's triple A credit rating. Premier Christy Clark AAA credit rating. Whatever happened to that? Huh? BC Unity Party. Where's the AAA credit rating where everybody was supposed to have peace and prosperity and opportunity? Kind of went out the window, don't you think? Yeah, I think so. So anyway, there's always somebody out there that has harder than you. And I think with this Lady Jane, right here, I think with her channel, she's bringing that to the forefront in a humble way. And that's another thing that I love, forget the like, that I love about Africans, right? They're humble. You know, they don't necessarily take things for granted. That's not to say that they're not like everybody else and have their own problems here and there, you know, along the way, because everybody does, right? As a collective group when it comes to ethnicity. But all in all, they're very humble people. And that's my experience of being a community activism. with, I don't want to say true Africans, because we're all one people from one continent at the end of the day, right? But with African people that come to Canada, being humble, it's you have to experience it in order to fully appreciate what I'm trying to say here, right? So with that said, it gives rise to, right, really seriously thinking about opening up the board and thinking about how can we build in structure where this Lady Jane, can build on program development in an area where it would be very, very, very difficult to do it, where it can begin to sustain itself without having to rely on outside sources in order to, we'll just use feeding the children within the community that, where families would benefit from that. Consistently. You can't just give once and then never go back and then forget. Because what was the point of giving the one time if you're not willing to go the extra mile and make sure that the family isn't left with nothing after what you did give them runs out? Right? And I mean, I explained to her, obviously, I'm in $50,000 in debt. I'm facing partial homelessness myself in lieu of the housing corruption that's going on in my country. We have two different problems from two different countries. But at the end of the day, I'm an experienced, seasoned, well-rounded, not afraid community activist to say what needs to be said by no choice of my own other than, if you don't like me fucking talking about you, then there's the door. Don't let it kick you in the freaking ass. Otherwise, if you don't treat me right, I'm going to talk about it. But if you do, I'll talk about that too. If you intrigue me where I'd like to be, well, gee, get back to your old Mama Lynn mode, your Mama G days. Don't drop the torch, right? Here's a lady that kind of reminds you of you when you were young. And, you gave it your all. I don't want her in 24 years from now sitting in my position when I can actually make a freaking difference and basically open up freaking Africa as one continent, one Africa, to one tribe, where Africa becomes her playground to help the children, regardless of who those children are. From country to country to country to country to country within Africa as a whole. That's my goal. I know it's foolish. I always come up with these foolish fucking goals. Oh, sorry, boo-boo goals. I'm getting mad. Because it's impossible to instill a dream like that into this woman's mind where she can believe in herself, that she herself and her associates that push the agenda forward when it comes to solving problems by becoming the solution to solve those problems and instilling in others that they are also the solution so that she ends up having the workforce that she needs in order to be successful. Why wouldn't I want this woman to be successful? She'd be helping millions of children by that point. She'd be helping millions of children by that point. That's my goal for her. But the best that I can offer her is a $100 donation and a call out to my girlfriends on YouTube, basically, where we can figure out a way that perhaps if we chip in $20 every 2 months as a group, whether it's 3 of us, 4 of us, 5 of us, 6 of us, we could forward it to her so that she could build in stability for the family. Probably more than one, because there's more than one family in need here, right? Where they have at least the basics of food security. I don't need to go to Walmart online and shop for a deal. What I need to do is pay down my bills and make sure that my rent is paid when the shit hits the fan, if it should. However, that doesn't I guess, negate the idea that I shouldn't be charitable outside of my capacity in terms of, I can't afford this, I can't, but I can do that, whatever, right? I think this is a noble cause. I think the lady has a tremendous burden on her shoulders, a heavy cross to carry. I know how heavy that cross can be. Maybe I'm expecting too much. I don't think I'm doing it for selfish purposes in terms of trying to promote myself. I do not think that, because I've been doing this too long with too freaking much rejection to be even looking for fucking brownie points here. It's not about brownie points for me. I'm on my verge of goodbyes soon. So, I'd like to leave something good behind me that is beyond the material aspect of it versus being, it's not morality, but it is principle. It is a concept, right? It is a due action of just something that is right, right from wrong. It's better to do the right than the wrong. And I would think that if what I'm talking about right now was to manifest into something that was doable, I trust and do believe, otherwise I wouldn't be talking about this, right? That this woman, Lady Jane, would be faithful to the cause and perhaps to her calling in life, because it's a personal journey and it would be a big one at that. And that's why she needs to think of it as her playground, because with the playground comes many children. And with many children comes many responsibilities. And that's a heavy cross to bear. So, now that I got that out of the way, in terms of the gist of it, all right, I told her I'm going to end this video because it's already long enough and I'm tired, people. I got a headache. I went to the eye doctor yesterday. He's more optimistic about things than I am, that's for sure. We're going to root this eye, because when I went, of course I was bawling like a baby. I don't know. I can't seem to control myself in the doctor's office. Well, the eye doctor, that is. All the tears come flooding out, right? Practically cried the whole time I was there, for one reason or another. Right? I told her I'd wear this hat. I want her to bootleg this hat. I do. Children love Mama Lynn. It will give her something to hang on to. It will spread like wildfire if she connects with the right people to help her. I told her she needed to go get a DJ and an MC. Do a little Malcolm X chocolate milk party. I told her the kids love it. It's not about religion, it's about the community coming together to build a structure for positive change for the community, regardless of their religion. People hear about Malcolm X. Oh, he was a Muslim. I'm not Muslim. Fuck the Muslims. No, it's not about Muslim. It's not about Christian. None of that crap. It's about Malcolm X. At the end of the day, he didn't care what color you were, where you came from, how you got there, how you got back. None of that crap. What he cared for was equality of living for all. That's, at the end of the day, what he died for, in terms of was taken out, because he was like Kennedy. You know, the ones that control the economy and like to manufacture poverty and poverty pimp and all this other crap. Well, they don't want that. I learned that the hard way. Oh yeah. But she's in a unique position. One Africa, one tribe. You can't get any stronger than that. Okay? Come to Canada, you got the Hindus over there, you got the Syrians over there, you got the Chinese over there, you got the freaking so-and-sos over there, you got the Catholics over there. Like, it's stupid. Punjabis over there, and everybody's fighting over the same resources. Only some of them fight dirtier than others. That's exactly what goes on in freaking Canada. Welcome to the new Congo. Well, I'm just saying. All right? And I'm not putting down the Congo. When I make reference to that, it's in regards to the guerrillas, the militias, like the ones that want to go and, I don't know, those military guerrillas that just go off and decimate villages. For what? For big corporations to come in and put your people to work in the freaking cobalt mines? Yeah, okay. Okay. And for what? A cell phone? If you notice, I don't ever use a cell phone. Don't blame me for that, people. I'm well aware of how corporations and whoever runs those things exploit not only the Congo, but Africa as a whole. Right? So I can understand the level of struggle, seriously, because I have my own struggles out here. So anyway, we're just going to be shooting a you-know-what, yada yada. I'm going to bring out a wipeout board. We'll read what's on there. And then I'm not going to put the past to rest, people. I will never let go of Uncle John, Shmay, Tisha. Not Tisha. Well, yeah, even Tisha's injured psychologically. But Sierra, whatever. Andre, Uncle John, just all of them. Marcane, he's psychologically damaged from it all, right? Those lasting effects. You can't put lasting effects away in the past. But whatever's on that whiteboard board, we'll just touch base. And then we're going to jump into this with a positive note, with a positive foot, positive attitude. And when I went to my eye doctor, like I said, I was bawling like a baby. Oh, the tears came out, because they come and check, and and they want me to, and I can't, the reality of going blind just kind of, right, and right, and doctor comes in and I'm still crying and he's looking in my eye and I'm tearing up in my eye and he's trying to tell me that stress doesn't affect the diploma. I'm like, okay, sure. I'm only sitting here crying as you're looking in my eye. Don't tell me. So anyway, 39-40% pressure still in this eye. He's going to book me in about 3 months from now because I told him I had to do yard work. I got to deal with the basement. There's no freaking way I can be getting this done, right? So we figure in about 3 months, but we're not going to take out the cataract. He said it's a little harder to do without taking out the cataract, but it's not necessary. Just to bring down the pressure because it's that spare wheel, people. Right? He figures I still have a few, he didn't put an exact number on it, of years left to be able to see as long as we can control the pressure. This one went back up to 20. Didn't last very long, did it? But he said there's a window of, error in between the readings. So, because the first time they checked it, it was 15. And then by the time he came and checked it again with a different device, it was showing 20. And then he reassured me that the fluctuation between the different devices when it comes to reading the pressure is inaccurate. And, it's not a reliable tool to fully identify what the pressure is outside of a general range of it. And he seems to think I should be able to see for a little while longer anyway. More optimistic than me, but then he's not the one that has to cope with it on a daily basis. So there's a little hope there, right? And what was I going to say? I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And stressed out with this all too, you know what's going on, right? That's why I kind of just want to focus on something else here. In terms of, you do you, Judy. Oh yeah, so, okay, so now I'm a little cried out, right? I'm a little cried out, okay? And, so they're not so apt to come out of the, but they're still kind of wet. My eyes are still, you know, you could tell I've been kind of crying, right? I'm leaving. I get into the elevator, and there's like these 4 other women in there. And, you know, everybody looking at everybody, and I cracked a joke, right? I opened up my mouth, and I mentioned that, you know, I was crying and or something, and somebody said something. I said, yeah, only in public. I only cry in public. Because, you know, when do you ever really see me cry on YouTube for all the shit that I go through? Very few times, if just a few little drops. Not these ones that keep coming, you know. I'm not crying like that, but the tears, you know, when they come, you can't stop them, right? And you're trying to, you know, but like, and they thought that was funny. They laughed, right? And I said, yeah, ladies, you know, you cry in public, but never at home. In other words, don't let your family know that no matter how much they're freaking razzing you, wearing you down, you know, trying to put you into check and bossing you and doing this, and you got to stand your ground and, you know, and hold your poker face. Because they want to see you cry. Right? They laughed. But they fully understood, I think, what I was trying to say. And then it made me think of Lucy, Bailey, Shelley, Deb. We've got April still floating around in the background, right? And a few other individuals that pop in every now and then as my, I guess you could say, core YouTuber group of friends. To whom I'm going to ask you to consider supporting Lady Jane at some point in the future with a little bit of moolah so that she can build on program development to assist with the needs of the families in her community that are struggling. All right? And then we'll see what she does. Because I told her I'm going to send you $100 at the end of the month. This is how it's going to work. She got lots of time to think about it. I'm going to send you $100. I'm going to get Tisha to help me. Tisha will be, why are you doing that? Because you have to remember, Tisha's seen me do lots and lots of community work to the point in the past where, you know, the majority of individuals took advantage of it and it never got me anywhere except in debt. Right? So why continue? Why continue, right? Well, this is the part where life itself becomes the precedent before the thing. That's a little earring rack or something. And for the amount of money that I've been spending on food, $100 towards, she likes to buy in bulk. I told her, you're my gal. That's what I like. 20 kg of this and 20 kg of rice and 20 kg of beans. That's up my alley, right? But it runs out. And I told her I can't make the commitment to forward $100 a month every month on the regular to be able to build in that food security for that family with those children on my own, which makes me sad because I know that what she's showing at this point is real outside of she's using somebody else's videos to convince viewers like me sitting up in Canada that it's real. I'd like to think that whatever story she's putting out there, she's actually walking the talk and is experiencing it. And is coming into contact with these families that have what kind of future do they have, people, when they can't even have food security in their home? And we're just talking basics. We're not talking the frills here. Okay? And you can't wait for the larger organizations to come in and help with this shit. If anything, they're going to come in. As soon as this girl starts to become successful within her own right from doing the work, right? The respect of the community, the love of the children, the support of the people that want to be part of the solution, but can only maybe give a little bit of this and a little bit of that because they themselves, their lives are busy and there's only so much that they can do. But you see, that's the thing about African people. When they want to come together, they come freaking together. Nothing stops them. Because it's in their music. It's in their core of being humble. I don't know how to explain it any other way outside of people just need a chance. That's all. I'm just trying to build in some chances here. So I told her, you need to bootleg this. My idea, New Nations Unity, XG Kids hats, one Africa, one tribe, right? It's an X-revolution under a solution. It's a X-solution under a revolution. Don't let Elon Musk fool you into thinking he's the original X. He is not. I am. It's right here. I'm just saying. Okay? You gotta watch those ones with money. They like to cheat. For as much as they have, they still like to rob and cheat so that they can control the assets. But this is beyond just material wealth, right? This is about, it's kind of philosophical. You know, it's bringing you into a different realm of seeing the world and approaching it. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, I'm not glorifying. I'm not being over dramatic. I'm being very serious. It's a complicated, complex situation. We all know it's real and exists for many people. I'm not singling out any one person other than she came up on my feed. I really listened. I really looked from what I could see. And because of my experiences, I was able to connect. And we know I work on the background. We know I work on the foundation in the background. Call me a fool. Say I'm in denial. Whatever you want. It's just a part of me I don't think will ever go away. And just as hard as I fight for Uncle John, even though I know I'm not in court, having the government throw it out with a stamp, it's just, you know, what's the difference? Even if I showed up for court, because March was the month they were taking me to court to throw it out of court. But they haven't done it yet. Or at least I haven't gotten anything in the mail. So I don't know if I have court, no court. I don't know if it's been thrown out of court in terms of that lawsuit. Because I'm so overwhelmed with what's going on in my own freaking life right now. Right? And even if I showed up, we know what would happen. So I'm just waiting for it to happen. If they want to charge me and make me pay for their services to wasting their court's freaking lawyer time, Sonia too, right? Well, then they can take it off my welfare check. $20 a month. Serious. There is no statute of limitation on murder. Okay? Don't be surprised if I don't ever find the time to come back. Right? Just, that's all I can do, people. But outside of that, I can try and help this lady, but I can't help her by myself. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to offer help and make it a one-time shot and leave them to wallow and self-destruct. That was never my intentions with anything that I ever done when it relates to this foundation. Quite the opposite. Okay? So, if you ever knew me in terms of watching my videos for years, in the raw, on the fly, with or without passion, you would know that I'm not trying to manipulate you right now into doing something that isn't noble. Right? You know what I'm saying? Right? We're just shooting the shit. We're just brainstorming on the board right now. I asked her to follow up on a video after I make the donation to her with whatever it is that she's buying. Perhaps introduce the family. Let them say, "Hi, Mama Lynn, thank you, that would be great." And then that would really hit home. For not only me, but for the ones that would be considering to help maybe with the next donation. $20, $30, if we all chip in, that's enough for that lady to go off and buy 20 kgs of this, 20 kgs of that, a bag of that, maybe throw in a bit of fish, maybe a few vegetables along the way, right? And then, in a year from now, if we could build on more ideas, where it becomes, I don't want to say a given, because it kind of goes back to, I'm going to end it on this, okay, soon. It kind of goes back to that biblical thing where they say you got to teach a man to fish versus just give him a fish. Right? But when you're dealing with vulnerable families that have no opportunity, no resources, they're not in the who knows mode, right, in regards to, if I know you, you can help me, and then we can do that, and we'll be over there and much more successful than the ones that we kicked in the ass to the curb, right? When you're stuck, you're stuck. So there has to be a way to help them to heal first and be able to relax, maybe. If you're struggling with limited food in your house, whether you live in a house like this or in a hut, I'm just saying. Right? And there's just limited food. A cupboard is bare, is a cupboard is bare, is a cupboard is bare, right? I mean, like, how can you think about the future and what could you possibly do under those circumstances? So any food security that we may or may not be able to build in is just the first stepping stone to build in, one, trust in the environment that you live in, that you won't starve to death or go hungry, or things will just get worse and worse and worse and worse. And of course, when that comes death, and right, you start losing family members, which adds on more to the pain, and right, it's a bad cycle to be in, whether you live in Canada or whether you live in Africa. It's all the same emotions that you go through, right? So, you know, the precedence, no, it's not even the precedence, the beginning, but there's another word I want to use besides the word beginning. The first steps to program development from a outreach perspective, whether you live in British Columbia, Canada, whether you live in California, or Idaho, or Toronto, or Detroit, just randomly picking, and you want to be part of the greater solution, where whatever ministry, in terms of godly, right? Whatever ministry you hold in your heart to your Creator, wants to give a stranger a fighting chance to break the cycle so that others can learn to break the cycle by way of grace of it's almost like peace, people. I'm thinking about myself, right? If you have a sense of peace that you don't have to worry about being hungry and where your next meal is coming from, it's just a matter of time before the human body and everything else that makes it work wants to get up and move around and do something, right? And once you want to start moving around and do something, that's when you start to build in more productivity in terms of becoming creative to add on to what you've already got without having to worry about losing what you have. So that at some point you can learn to disconnect from that support system that you do have that brings in that trust that you're not going to go hungry, that you're not going to lose a family member sooner than later, or whatever, due to impoverished circumstances, which could mean a lot of things, people, for a lot of people. I'm using a lot of energy on this thinking. Yeah. I mean, why should I care? She's just some YouTuber. I'm helpless to do anything. I'm in Canada. I got my own shit going on in life that you never know what's going to blindside me. So anyway, I'm going to bring out the whiteboard board. I'm going to talk more about this stuff. Just, I'm going to follow through. By the end of the month, I'll make sure she gets 100 Canadian dollars. And then she'll go off and do what she does. And hopefully she'll do us a video so that we can see for ourselves. She can introduce me as Mama Lynn. Say, Mama Lynn from Canada. Gave him a shout out. One Africa, one tribe. All right. And then, from there, we'll take it from there to see if we can repeat the process in terms of a quote-unquote donation, but with some of us, a few of us, chipping into the pot so that I don't want to say burden, I don't want to say responsibility, because it's not a burden, it's not a responsibility. I mean, definitely it's a gift, right? Where the gift is meaningful and humble from our perspective, living in the United States of America and Canada. Anyway, blame it on the foundation. If I didn't work on the foundation all these years, be who I am, what I am, gone through everything that I've gone through, right? You know, I wouldn't be talking about this any more than all the other things that I talk about. At least this is positive. This is productive. This has opportunity, tons and tons of opportunity. As a matter of fact, it opens up a whole continent to become a freaking playground for those that want to play in there and have a good time, in terms of, oh, you know, yeah, let's just be happy and have the children go home happy versus crying and hungry, right? You know, you have to think big. At least in my world, you do. Okay? When it comes to working on a quote-unquote foundation. I wasn't satisfied just to help. Sorry! Sorry, British Columbia, Canada! Yeah, okay. We know all about Surrey. Right? We know what happens in Surrey. Don't go to the Surrey Memorial Hospital. No, 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 no. You want to go to the Royal Columbian if you live in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad I went outside of the box. Serious. I feel much better thinking about this woman and her cause than I would for any cause in Surrey at this point. Yeah. 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 So I'm going to leave it on that. This is an unusual video. Came out of nowhere. I didn't expect to respond the way I did. But I figure it's worth a shot. Yeah, and it gives me something else to put my teeth into and focus on that could very well be very important long term, even after I'm gone. Poof, you're gone. Nothing moves except you. And everything else stays behind. My mission is to leave that whatever I'm doing stays behind. And this girl can continue doing what she's doing. And be successful at it. Is she waiting on God? Well, God walks with me. But you also have to do the work. Just like that piece of wood out on that porch. If you notice, I went out, I walked, I seen the wood. That was the first thing that I seen. I used my seamster's eagle eye, even though I can't see very well, to measure it out. And I'm like, that's pretty freaking close to what I need in width and in lengthwise. And sure enough, if I'm telling you, and I'm going to prove it, I'm going to end it on this note. When I go outside and I get on my porch, I'm bringing out a hacksaw. Okay? A hacksaw is one of those little metal things with a blade like this, okay? On that wall unit, where I laid down that board, and it was off by, oh, maybe a quarter of an inch, just a bit, right? You want to know why it didn't fit flush with the floor? Because that wall unit is sitting on a 2x4 of some kind, where there's a little edge sticking out. So if I take a crowbar, a hacksaw. If I take a hacksaw and I saw that off, that board that I got will sit flush on that space that I had to cover up that hole on that porch. Now, if that's not God walking with you, I don't know what is. But I have to do the work to cut that little piece of wood off first before I can slide the board for it to fit in snugly. Snugly. So, you know. So little things like that you got to pay attention to. Right? Yeah. You'd be surprised. Yeah. Ain't no devil did that. Devil don't care if there's a freaking hole on my porch where everybody that walks by can fall through and seriously injure themselves when they hit the cement ground. Okay? I'm just saying. It was only God that took me to that board. And it's nothing for me to go get a hacksaw and saw that little piece of wood so I can just go boop, and the thing sits. I won't even have to screw it in. It'll be tight. It's perfect fit. Perfect. Yeah. Those are the things I like in life. When stuff like that happens, it kind of makes me happy. Yeah. it reassures me that I'm not alone and that I don't walk alone and that God does walk with me. And I'd like to think that there's a lot of people walking with God in Africa. Whatever their God is, I don't know. I'm not here to make judgment, to, none of that crap, right? I'm here to be what is that called? Rabble raiser. Stir up the shit. Rock the boat. Right? Get people thinking with that cortisol going on in their brain. You know what I'm saying? Okay.